Show that a quorum of board members is present, the meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551.
Bob Sorbetto.
Here.
Pat Leatherwood.
Here.
Blanca Martinez. Ryan Mitchell.
Here.
James Moore.
Here.
Raymond Salinas.
Here.
Angelica Salyer. Here.
All right.
Join with me as we pray. Lord, we thank you for the district, our community, and all of the things that we are doing to progress forward. God, I pray that you give us the wisdom and the ability to do so according to your will. And Lord, I pray that you are involved in everything that we do decision-wise, and that it is the best for every student and every staff member that we have. We thank you for that. We pray for this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Can we have some amazing
Elementary,
pledge
intermediate
leaders?
kids, you want to pledge with me? Look that way.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Great job. Great job.
Oh, big shots.
All right, item number 5.
Fixing to
Recognition
take
of students, employees, board members, and their patrons for outstanding service and achievement. Here we go, line leader.
Okay, elementary line leaders. In pre-K, we first have Saisha Shrestha. Is she here? Okay. Her teachers report that she works hard, listens carefully, and always tries her best. She shows up every day with a kind heart and helping hand and a willingness to learn new things. That's Saisha. Next, we have Armando Vasquez. Is Armando here? No Armando?
There we go.
Oh, yay! His teachers report that he has grown so much this school year. He is such a sweet friend to all of his classmates and teachers and tries his very best at everything he does. This is Armando. In kindergarten, we have Avery Mendoza. Hi, Avery. Her teacher reports that she is an exceptional student, always completes her work on time, always willing to help her classmates, and has excellent classroom behavior. This is Avery. And next kindergarten student, we have Bohannon. Come on up here, Bo. His teachers report that he is an outstanding student. He is always focused on his tasks and completions of all his work. That's Bohannon. In first grade, we have Jetty Arrett. Her teachers say that she is a hardworking student, is respectful to her teachers, classmates, and always tries her best. Her effort and kindness is a wonderful example for her peers. That's Jay. We have Dawson Garner, also from first grade. He is a hardworking student and demonstrates a strong work ethic by not only completing assignments on time, but by frequently going above and beyond the required expectations. That's Dawson. In second grade, we have Camila Sanchez. I don't think she could make it tonight, But her teachers say that she is a focused student and is always moving forward with her incredible creativity and brilliant smile. Her positivity, dedication, and commitment to doing her best makes her truly special. That's Camilla. We have Diego Horta. Diego here. Diego is a very kind person who always treats others with respect and care. He works hard and always tries his best when things are challenging. That's Diego. And in 3rd grade, we have Embry. Come on up here, Embry. He's always prepared for class, focused, and works hard in every class. Has a very positive attitude and a desire to be successful. And this is Embry. And Colton Gonzalez. No Colton? Okay. His 3rd grade teachers say he is also a hardworking student who is consistently following directions and staying focused on his work. And that's Colton Gonzalez. Let's get a picture, you guys. If we just get in here. Can you get everybody here?
Parents, come on up, yeah.
Stay right there.
Parents, come on up and take a picture. You get closer. You get closer.
Walk on up.
There you go.
Dawson, do it, everybody. Oh, one more. You got it? Yeah. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese. Oh, whoops. Ready? Try it again. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Good job, y'all.
Stay there, we got more pictures.
Yeah, more coming. One more. You want to come over here? All right. Thank y'all very much. Good job. Good job.
Positive.
All right, for our positive leaders for 4th grade, we have Samantha Robart. Is she here tonight, Samantha? Her teachers say they want to recognize Sammy, report that she is a great student and classmate. She has made big progress in math this year, and she is reading at a 7th grade level. And in the future, Sammy wants to be a doctor. We also want to recognize in 4th grade, Angel Sanchez. Is he here tonight? There he is. So, Angel's teachers report that he has made a lot of progress in math and reading. He is above a 7th grade level in math, and we appreciate how hard he works and how he pushes himself to be better. In the future, Angel would like to be a basketball player. For 5th grade, we would like to recognize Azalea Morales. Is Azalea here? The 5th grade teachers report that she is a kind and intelligent student who consistently demonstrates a strong commitment to her academics. She applies herself well in her work and represents herself as a thoughtful and respectful member of the classroom. In the future, Azalea would like to become a cosmetologist. Next, we would like to recognize Tilden Stone. The 5th grade teachers report that he is a kind and intelligent student who is a wonderful friend to others. He consistently brings a positive attitude and a cheerful spirit to the classroom, adding brightness to the learning environment. He's truly a joy to have in class, and in the future, Tilden would like to become a fishing guide. For 6th grade, first we would like to recognize Diego Sanchez. Diego's teacher report that he is an outside-of-the-box thinker, and he is always kind to his peers and teachers. Diego is currently above grade level in math, and in the future, Diego would like to go to the Texas Tech University and study engineering. And next, we would like to recognize Rebecca England. extremely hard worker and has flourished in her classes this year. She is kind and has a great attitude. She is currently at a greater than 9th grade math level and an 11th grade reading level. In the future, Rebecca would like to go to Tarleton and become a teacher.
Parents? Scoot over just a little bit. Yeah, it might be like people. Ciao, guys. Hang on.
All right, good job, guys.
For Circle of Champions at the junior high, we'll start with 7th grade, Jaylee Rocha. Coach Williams is the one who wrote this about this wonderful student. Jaylee consistently demonstrates a strong work ethic and commitment to excellence. She is willing to do whatever it takes to complete her work with care and accuracy. Even on days when motivation may be challenged, Jaylee perseveres and ensures that her work is done the right way. Her dedication and responsibility make her a standout student and a positive example for her peers. That's our Jaylee Rocha. Next, we have Cody Slater. Cody exemplifies hard work and resilience in all that he does. He approaches challenges with determination, never giving up until he reaches the correct solution. Cody is also so positive and influences on such a positive influence on his classmates, offering support and encouragement while helping create a welcoming classroom environment. His upbeat attitude and perseverance bring energy and light to the room, even on the slow days. That's from Coach Williams, and this is Cody Slater. Our 8th grade Circle of Champions, we were hoping he could make it, then he did. Noah Perchie. Come on down. Noah is hardworking and consistently puts strong effort into every task he is given. Noah shows a positive attitude in class, approaching challenges with determination and willingness to learn. In addition to focusing on his own work, he is also helpful to his peers, often offering support and encouragement to classmates who may need assistance. His dedication and kindness and cooperative spirit make him a valued member of our classroom community, and that's from Miss Stovall. Last but not least, we have Valeria. Is she here? Did she end up coming? Our Valeria is involved in many extracurricular activities, including band, and does a great job balancing those commitments with her schoolwork. Valeria is always smiling, bringing a positive and welcoming attitude to the classroom each day. In addition to her involvement outside the classroom, she is also a hard worker and consistently puts in the effort needed to do her best. Valeria's dedication, enthusiasm, and positive spirit make them a wonderful part of the classroom. And that's our Valeria. A little closer like you like me just a little bit.
We got parents.
Need more smiles on that end.
Smile, Noah.
Oh, I think we got one more.
Oh, we have more? Mom?
One more.
Jamie, come back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good, Mom.
Oh, too big. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, guys.
Oh, thank you. Good afternoon. Hi, our academic scholars, Sandra Rasmus, if you'll come on up. Sandra is involved in many activities. Her personality has grown quite a bit since she was a freshman. She's participated in volleyball since 7th grade. She's a part of the Dublin athletics. She's helped her teamwork, responsibility, discipline, and leadership. She's participated in powerlifting and powerlifting taught her to not self-doubt. So that was fun. Organizations that she participates in, she is an NHS, Power Up or WIT, Big Brother Big Sister program, and Trio Upward Bound. Her hobbies are weightlifting, walks, watching movies, spending time with her family and friends, and shopping. That sounds like a great hobby. Her future plans are to attend, to graduate top 10% of her class, attend Tarleton State University, and graduate with her bachelor's degree in elementary education. We call this grow our own. Her biggest dream is to become an elementary education teacher. So we're very proud of that. That's us, of us. Our next one, Mr. Victor Ruiz. Where's Victor at? Come on in. All right, Victor competes in UIL speech and debate, and he spends most of his time doing voluntary work and community service, which he will be competing on Wednesday for UIL. He participates in National Honor Society, WIT, Power Up, Trio, Upward Bound, Educational Talent, what's this word over here? Search, good, and Junior Bank Board. His hobbies are he enjoys collecting and visiting museums, watching movies, and attending performances involving fine arts. The theater performances and jazz concerts, he enjoys those. He plans to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio to gain a degree in neuroscience and be a neuroscientist. He works very, very hard at developing treatments for neurological disorders and diseases. That is his future, and this is Victor Ruiz.
Athletics counsel.
Okay, our athletics scholars for this month, for the junior high, our young lady is Chloe Goodrick. Okay. Chloe participates in volleyball, track, cross country, and she's a cheerleader. She's a part of our FCA. Now, her hobbies are hanging out with friends, and in the future, she wants to go to college and pursue a career as a nurse. Chloe Goodrick. Our young man for junior high is Carter Criswell. Woo. Carter participates in football, basketball, cross country, and track. He's part of our FCA. His hobbies are fishing, running, staying with friends, and going to sleep. His future plans: he wants to join the military so that his college will be paid for, and when he finishes college, he wants to get a good paying job. Carter Criswell. Cassidy Adair is our first high school athletic scholar. Okay, Cassidy plays softball. She's in powerlifting. She was a student athletic trainer. She's in NHS and Power Up. And I do want to add, Cassidy set a state record in bench press for her weight class at the state meet last year. Very proud of her for that. Her hobbies are working out and spending time with friends and family. And in the future, she wants to continue powerlifting at the college level and work as an EMT. She's just not sure where she's going to be continuing her education yet. That's Cassidy. Okay. And our male athletic scholar for high school is Juan Alvarez. Juan is an 11th grader. He participates in football and powerlifting. His hobbies he likes to go fishing, and in the future he wants to go to welding school or get into a welding program so he can become a welder. That is Juan Alvarez.
Lance, come on up, take a picture.
Cassie, did you say you were going to be an elementary teacher? Is that what I heard?
No.
She's really good with it.
I just put my voice with it.
All right, extracurricular scholars.
Me first. Okay. You first, That's fine. Okay, well, good. Well, everybody, so I'm super excited today. My name is Ms. Hayhurst, and I am going to be representing the FFA today with my amazing Ag Mech boys. And so I know I don't look much like an Ag Mech teacher, but I can lay a bead, and I did almost minor in Ag Mech. So I'm excited to talk about them and celebrate them tonight. So just to make sure I got my list right, I like to make sure I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, we need Tatum Dubkowski, Dalton Bullard, Dominic Dominguez, Ernesto Lopez, Candy Rodriguez, Alex Teaton, Kevin Ballin, Caden Van Beber, and Ethan Witter. So, something to share about these amazing Ag Mech kids is the county success that they experience as the Ag Mechanics team. So Dom placed first with his cutting torch table. Caden, Dalton, and Ethan placed first with their home and yard convenience American flag picnic table, which was definitely square, right? We had no issues. There was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was great. It was so good. Like they let me tell you about these two. They will sell you the next biggest and best truck, horse, whatever it is. Okay, don't you worry about it. So second place is Alex and Tatum with their welding table, and then third place was Candy, Kevin, and Ernesto. And so something exciting beyond just the placings that's going on in the Dublin FFA Ag Mechanics world right now is bringing in the Tractor Tech team as well as the Applied Agricultural Engineering team, which is essentially a really fancy name for welding, cutting torch. Am I doing good? What else do you do? All good things. Measuring on a blueprint, having to create a project based on a set of drawings and do it accurately. So we're so excited to have our Tractor Tech team. Ethan is here representing us from that team today, and Candy, yep, that's it. Okay, Candy's on the AAE team, and so just some new and exciting things that are happening right now that I'm super excited to share about, even if I'm from the sidelines. We've done many a San Angelo trip. I've been on the sidelines. It's been so fun, y'all. If you don't get to come spend time with the Ag Mech guys sometime, it's really refreshing. But you need a candy, okay? Love y'all, but like you gotta have candy, okay? She's awesome. So anyway, these are my amazing Ag Mech guys that just have worked their tails off from day one, to be honest. Ag Mech projects do not happen overnight, y'all. Okay, and it is not just slap it all together and put some spray paint on it. It gets down to the 1/8 of an inch on their measuring and being square and representing us just outstanding, and I just can't brag on them enough. So I'll keep yapping if you want me to, but you boys better smile with me, please. You're here with Ms. Hayhurst, and so I'm just so excited to have you. Yay. Great job, y'all.
Want to take a picture of it?
Oh yeah. Get in there.
Mom's gonna have that picture.
Oh, yes. Y'all come on now. Awesome. Good job.
honors basketball.
We're gonna go back and get, the extracurricular.
Okay, we're going back to extracurricular. I just had it on my list.
I'm Miss Raspberry. I do FCCLA and Family Consumer Science classes. I would like to recognize Sarah Smith. This is Sarah's first year as a freshman doing it. She has qualified for state, which we compete on the 10th. She stepped out of her comfort zone and has chosen to do an event that Dublin has never done. And so with that, her activities are banned. Her organizations are FCCLA and FFA. Her hobbies are she loves to bake, spend quality time with family and friends, listening to music, creative writing, reading, and cleaning. Ooh, I'm not gonna do it. Her future plans are, after high school, she wants to go to A&M and Galveston and major in marine biology and conservation, which that is what her event was, is to teach and train, so she had to come up with a whole lesson over how, like, you would teach, and her subject was marine conservation that she came up with all on her own. She had come up with activities and then teach it to the judges. I think she ended up with 85 points out of 100. Wow. And she did all of it on her own, because I was like, I got nothing with marine conservation.
And what grade is she in?
She's a freshman.
Wow.
So I got her for 3 more years after this year. We're just shooting for nationals so we can go to DC.
Yes.
So, this is Sarah Smith.
That's my baby.
Hang on just a second.
Okay.
Sure. One more time. Come on, keep your eyes closed. There we go.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We'll wait on her.
Hi, I'm Mr. Zuniga. I'm the sponsor for National Honor Society. This person's already been up here once, I'm not surprised, but he's done very well in NHS, helped me out my first year. He's the president of NHS, Victor Ruiz. So, just like Dr. V said, activities, he competes in UIL speech and debate, science, and NHS as well. His organizations on top of NHS are WIT, Power Up, Trio Educational Talent Search, UIL Speech and Debate, and the Junior Bank Board. His hobbies are book collecting, researching history, interpreting poetry, and visiting museums, as well as watching movies and attending performances involving the fine arts. His future plans are to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio and earn a PhD in neuroscience, as well as being a neuroscientist working towards treatments for neurological disorders, as he mentioned before. Victor Ruiz.
If we could just add, Victor recently won the 4-way Rotary test, and hopefully will represent us at the regional level. Victor, you're an incredible young man.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll try letter G, post-district basketball honors.
I got quite a few, which is a good thing. We'll start off with our 2026 District 8 3A Offensive MVP and first team All-District was Alex Teaton. Alex also scored over 1,000 points this year, covering his 4 years as a career in high school basketball. Also another guy was our first team all-district was Hunter Jones. He also hit the 1,000 point record over his 4-year career. We have another first team all-district for Jaden DeLeon. A sophomore who got second team all-district was Joe Salinas. And I have a list of our honorable mentions. These guys may not have gotten first team or second team, but these guys really played a major role in our scheme of basketball. If it wasn't for scoring points or getting rebounds, those are the guys that were doing the little dirty things that nobody likes to do, which really amped up our style of play. Honorable mention goes to George Solis, Ivan Phelps, Hayden Milburn, Hazen Chacon, Hunter Lewis, and Kyson Gilman. Those guys probably at work right now or getting off of baseball practice. Really proud of these guys, but also we're probably more proud of our community for stepping up, coming to our home games, coming to our away games, coming to Breckenridge to watch this team beat City View 81-71 and being by-district champions. And it's a big spot for us to put Dublin back on the map for Dublin basketball. So I'm really proud of them.
Smiling faces.
Wait, Mom, can I have a picture?
Yeah.
Smile, Joe.
Thanks, Phil.
I'm Coach Salinas. I apologize in advance if I sound like Boomhauer or Porky Pig, one of the two. Okay? But very proud of these girls this year. Lots of adversity. We had lots of injuries through the season. They overcome a lot. They battled through and through. Also depending on a lot of underclassmen who really shine this year, and our 2 seniors who helped lead the way and just really instill that tradition that we're trying to overcome as far as a culture and overcome the situations that we may be faced with. But this year I see Derby. You want to come up, Derby Kukla? It's Mari Molina. Bailey Jackson. Reagan Van Bever. Olivia Salyer. I'm sorry, I'm been a day. Savannah Chacon, Brittany Everett, and we had a few JVers that stepped up this year, really helped when we needed them. I'm not missing anybody, right? I'm sorry, I'm tired. But just the heart that these girls showed. Went through several tournaments. They placed at 2 of the tournaments this year. It's quite an accomplishment, something that they reminded me of on a daily basis. As you can tell, I don't have hair. They're making sure I don't keep hair. But Olivia Salyer got second team all district. She also was earned her 1,000 career points in her high school career. Honorable mention went to Derby Kukla, Martin Molina, Bailey Jackson, the rest of the girls. Bailey Jackson was 1 vote away from being the 6th man off the bench. And then Reagan Van Bever was also 1 vote away from being newcomer of the year. And so Coach Grisham will tell you, whenever you go battle for your girls, you vote for what you can. You mention them, and the voting's up to the district. You don't even get a say once you mention their name. So very proud of these girls and where they've come, where they're going to go. That's one thing that we've talked about, especially with our seniors. Cassie's back here as well in softball. about how to lead by example, how to change the culture and bring the fight back to Dublin ISD as far as our girls program. And so we want to thank you all for your support. And again, it's been one heck of a ride. And Derby, I've sat with her and Olivia. I know it's my second time back. I actually ran into them in a tournament. And these girls were one of the reasons why I came back. One of the reasons why I wanted to be back, because they're all daughters to me. I know they're your daughters. And of course, when I say girls, sometimes I mean girls, you know, because that's the only way you can get through to some of them. But very, very proud of you guys, and good luck to you in the future, Derbs. And we're looking to roll again next year, and get ready to rock. So thank you all.
And all three of these ladies are beautiful. They look like they're the sweetest young ladies you'll ever meet in your life. But they are different humans on that basketball court. They are mean in a good way.
I don't think we had one game, since Ms. Summers mentioned that, where we weren't bloody.
Yeah.
Or they weren't bloody. So I just like to find you guys. I really appreciate everything.
And my money's on them every time. Every time.
My band.
We're gonna do band next.
Band's next month, I'm putting that down. Thank you. I didn't get the number on that, thank you. Appreciate that. Staff recognition.
I don't think mine's here tonight, or this evening. Okay, so elementary teacher of the month goes to Christina Kennedy Smith. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it, but she's our teacher of the month because we're recognizing her for her dedication to her students, her positive relationships she builds in the classroom. She genuinely cares about each child and works to ensure that they feel supported, encouraged, and valued. She demonstrates a strong commitment to her students and their success, and that's Christina Smith.
Intermediate teacher of the month, we'd like to recognize Angie Valentine. Ms. Valentine has truly earned this recognition as our teacher of the month. She's a wonderful teammate who consistently supports those around her and is always willing to lend a helping hand. Whether it's stepping in to assist a colleague or going the extra mile for her students, she does it all with a positive attitude and a servant's heart. Her dedication to our students and to the Dublin Intermediate School team does not go unnoticed. We are grateful for all she does. Congratulations, Ms. Valentine.
My mom's not here.
Just play it.
No, it's okay. Our mom would probably want to take
I'd like to recognize from our campus and secondary, it's someone that's very sweet and always has a welcoming heart to all the students that come in. That's Coach Vaughn. Coach Vaughn has quickly made a lasting impact on as an outstanding physical education teacher and coach at Dublin. He brings energy, enthusiasm, and genuine passion for student growth into everything he does. He not only promotes physical fitness, but also instills discipline, teamwork, and perseverance in his students and athletes. His ability to build strong relationships and create a positive, motivating environment has made him a valued role model on our campus. Our students strongly look up to him, and I appreciate that very much. Whether in the classroom or on the field, Coach Vaughn goes above and beyond to support and encourage every student to reach their full potential. It's Coach Vaughn.
Did you get a good one?
Yeah, okay.
And for our high school side, we have Ms. Heston, who's not here. She might have not been able to be here just important things, but I'd like to share that Ms. Heston has been a wonderful addition to our Dublin Secondary family. She brings passion, creativity, and dedication. She also has high expectations for our students and holds them very much accountable as well, especially since they're about to be off in a couple of weeks to the universities. She balances English courses, dual credit classes, and theater. She consistently goes above and beyond to meet the diverse needs of her students. Her ability to engage students across multiple content areas speak to her versatility and a commitment to excellence. Whether she is guiding rigorous academic discussions or fostering creativity through theater, Ms. Heston creates a classroom environment where students feel supported, challenged, and inspired. That's Ms. Heston.
No public comments either. Number 8, discussion items. April 9, 2026.
Yes, that's when we are holding our CASB school board training for any area, school board members who would like to attend. And that's always been a fun night. They feed us well. And I believe it starts at 4 o'clock.
Do we have minutes?
I will get y'all registered. I just need to know whether you're going or not.
April 9th.
You're in?
April 9th, yes, and it starts at
No one
4
running?
to 8:15. That's when Coach Hardcastle District Track is also April 9th.
8th and 9th, yes.
What time do you think we'll be over on the 9th?
Well, it starts at, it's finals only that day. It starts at like 6. It's in the evening.
Oh, in the evening.
Okay.
There's no field event. All the field events are on Wednesday.
Okay.
And prelims, and it's only
Just running events
just
on
running events, finals on.
6 o'clock.
There may be a few less Dublin board members there.
They want to book so early before I ever have spring schedules,
Yeah.
so there's no way. So,
Well, we
no,
offer a nice
Angelica?
area to hold it.
I'm hoping no, but not because I don't want to go. but
Right.
I hope-
Right,
You'll get
right,
finals.
I'm hoping I get finals.
Raymond, no?
Right.
Okay. Bob, no?
No.
Can we get double?
Don't slim, she's just no.
I think you should have their points.
What time they start serving? You said 6, Cassie? Okay.
Hey, don't worry, we'll take care of the table.
I'm not saying no, but think about it.
We'll FaceTime you.
Okay.
So,
All right.
if anybody wants to go, let it know.
Just be success.
Ron, will you be a track or a training? Who knows?
I won't, as of now, I can't make the train. Prior obligation,
Okay.
so, but it's not track.
Yes.
So we
He has
can-
2 excuses.
That's what I'm hoping, yeah.
And it will be a really good meal. You want to share?
Sure. As you know, we've been working, we finally, it took us 3 years to get the land sold, jump the old ag farm out on 219. There were several hoops to jump through that seemed to be nobody else concerned about speed or getting it done except for us. But finally, after 3 years, we finally had Farmers of America to sign off on the 11 acres, which they didn't really care to have. Then we found out that it was not squared properly. So like the barn that housed all the cattle trailers, or the ag animals, well, half of that belonged to the city. And the well belonged to the city. So we had to come in now and flip-flop some property to square it up so we could sell it. So all this has been a paper trail. Finally got it sold, got a check in hand, and so we have $305,000 to begin our quest. We have after meeting with the ag teachers a bunch, and then we met with their booster club. Now we're in the formation of having I want to call it a blowout, but a big barbecue deal on May 9th. We're gonna set that up, invite a lot of people in, that's interested in our ag program. Metal Trades is gonna, have some stuff. The floral arrangements are gonna have some stuff, from silent auction, barbecue dinner, and hopefully we'll be able to have it all staked out so you can actually see how big it will be. It will have a small type of arena, but it's gonna be all concrete, so it can be a multi-purpose. For instance, we don't have a place for prom, so we'll be able to have the prom in there. We'll be able to have some, I think a couple weeks ago we had an ag competition. This would enable us to maybe divide the room and have some ag competitions in there. The ag teachers were real supportive. You can buy the panels that are like 6 inches tall at the bottom, solid, so you put the sand in it. You can run your animals through it like a show barn. But then when that's done, then you clean that all off so you don't have, as far as sanitary, the concrete will be sealed. We get all that out of there, clean it up, and we can use it for other things. We'll set the myth right now. It's not an indoor facility. I don't think you could even play basketball in it. But it'll be big enough for us to be able to house more competitions, like I said, a prom, or, Pat, you said the short courses, that when Pat was growing up, we'd have people come in that want to do a program for maybe community members. Well, the good part is they won't have to go into the school. We'll be able to house it right out there, which will be kind of like left field of baseball. To the left of that, where the ag barn is, where the ag classrooms are, right across the road, that's where it'll be. So hopefully we'll have it staked out. We'll have, should have renderings that night to have for everything. The ag teachers were relieved when we said May 9th, because that way they'll get through with all their competitions to help this get set up. And so pretty exciting time. Our goal is to get everything on campus for safety of kids. This is I think this is a big move for our kids to get off of 219 and get on campus with animals. It's really neat talking to the booster club, because they're going to try to have funds. If a kid can't afford an animal, maybe they're going to be able to help with it, or help with feed, or just help them somehow. So there's really a community effort on this thing, trying to make this thing go. So we're really excited that we've finally pushed the rock over the edge, and we're going to gain some momentum and trying to get this thing built. So this will be on the back part of the campus. If you look, we talked about it last year, the year before, that we never want to sit on our hands. We always try to make things better for our kids. And the last thing that we'll have down the road that we do not have on campus is tennis courts. We've got 2 down at the city park that are. You turn the machine off? Drew, I'm talking to you. No, I'm just messing with you. They're 2 courts. And when you have the abundance of kids that we have, I know when Coach Goodwin was coaching tennis, he would go at 6 in the morning, have several people there, then he'd go at lunch, and then the seniors that got out early. And we just can't have, and we can't host. I mean, one of the best things about what we've done here in Dublin over the last 15 years with our facilities, our gyms, or our track, football field, or able to have band concerts. We're bringing people into the city, into our town. And we get tennis courts on here. That'll be another deal to have tournaments here. The community can use them. And I think it'll just be, it'll be safe, because a kid can go play tennis, check his animals, run track, and go to baseball, or go to the weight room. Whatever they want to do. But it'll all be right here, and parents can be, assured that their kid will be supervised on campus and not leave. I mean, we have the space, and so on. And really, as you look down the road, if you try to look 5, 10, 15 years down the road, we still have a situation where we can add on to the existing building. If we need more classroom space, if we get, if we get some houses built, get some things happening in here with everybody getting pushed out of Stephenville, there's a chance that we'll grow that way too. So always trying to be appreciative, take care of what we have, but we'll always kind of move that meter a little bit further down the road, to make sure that we have what we need for our kids. So the ag project right now is number one, and, we got $305,000, which I'm sure will help concrete. And then, we'll put on our good face and see what we can do to get the rest of the stuff. But, I think it's a positive stroke. We talked to a lot of people. I think everybody in town's excited for this to happen. So, we're excited.
Well, and we're excited that we hope that the number of kids who are showing animals, we hope that number increases, having it housed there at the campus. And I'm just envisioning, our elementary and intermediate age kids getting to take field trips out and letting the kids talk to them about their animals and about the whole process of being a stock show kid. Because there's a lot of really valuable lessons that go into showing animals. Lots of responsibility, hard work, that goes into that.
Anybody have any questions, since we're kind of talking about that? May 9th, so everybody kind of clear your schedule. Here we go.
It's gonna be a big bash.
I don't know what we'll call it, but we'll call it something.
Yes.
It's a happening for the ag kids, but I
Miss
think,
Hager's
you talk about participation, and I think that's, to have opportunities where kids can participate. I think that's as big an educational program as anything, and it really doesn't matter what it is, as long as they're participating. And I think we gotta do what we gotta do to make it where our kids can participate. So we're excited.
Yes.
Right. Moving on. Number 9, report agenda. Monthly financial report.
You all have your monthly financials. Student enrollment, we're down a few students. And I received emails, I guess today, we lost some, we gained some. It seems like we just keep kind of shuffling. We may lose a couple, but then we pick up a couple. So we're down a few, but it's staying pretty consistent. And then we already discussed the board training opportunity.
Okay. All right, board training, and you guys went to convention?
We did. We went to Galveston. Yes, yes. Long trip, good food, okay training, good food.
Good food makes everything training.
Yes, exactly. And I received the sweetest card from Julie today, just enjoyed being around this group. She said, y'all are like family to me. And so she's always very nice to be in her presence. You're always gonna laugh when you're around her.
Okay. All right, number 10, consent agenda.
You'd like for me to approve? Well, I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion on the floor, got a second? Ryan's got a second? All right, sorry, Angelica, he's typing up really, really fast. All right, any discussion, all in favor? Okay. All right, number 11. All right, this is kind of a cool deal, I think. Consider an act to approve instructional material allotment and TEKS certifications.
And we just do this every year. You have in your packet the adoptions that we use to teach each subject, and they're all state-approved materials, and they are all covering the TEKS that we're required to teach.
All right.
Mr. President, I will move that the board approve the instructional material allotment and TEKS certifications for 2026, 2027.
Okay, got a motion on the floor, got a second? Angelica. She's fast.
She's good.
Angelica's got a second, any discussion, all in favor? All right, good. Number 12, consider an act on recommended district-wide technology network refresh.
Yes, we are so very grateful for Drew and his technology department. They have done an outstanding job from day one. They have had a lot to deal with, a lot on their plates, and they have maintain such a positive attitude, and they're a joy. I love popping into their office, just being around them. They're great guys, but they inherited a mess. They did. It's a lot of work needs to be done.
You know, I've talked to a lot of teachers that didn't quite understand how the smart boards in office worked, and they could say, well, you can do this, this, and this, and things are working now, and so I've heard just lots and lots of good things. So.
And they're great at keeping us updated on any issue that might be going on our side, on, you know, another side. They're wonderful.
You're doing good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But we need to dedicate a substantial amount of money working on our infrastructure. Drew, do you want to kind of discuss the first phase, both phases, but the first phase of what we're doing here?
Of course, I can. So yes, presented before you, everyone, would be the first foundational phase. So the idea is to work on our infrastructure because there's a lot of limitations on our current infrastructure, especially with a lot of testing and, you know, the teachers and the campuses, they want to do so much more, but of course the infrastructure isn't even there to support it. And of course we are growing every day more and more, and again, the infrastructure is the biggest thing. So again, before you, this would be a foundational step to lay a clean slate foundation that will move us quite literally from 15 years in the past to 15 years in the future. So we will be ahead of everyone with this.
We're living a day of end of life. It just seems like
Yes.
everything, it used to be you could have a machine that lasted 15 years. Now, every time you turn around, end of life in 2 to 3 years. So you get behind real quick.
Well, this was designed for that, to give us longevity. It really was. And I believe, you know, this will set us up for at least 10 years. So this is a great foundational step that will give us the infrastructure that campuses so desperately need.
So give us a little understanding of what it is. Like, we're
Thank you.
replacing all, like, physical equipment, wiring?
Yes. So this project will do all the switches in the whole district. So all the back end, basically all the networking, all the back end, for the whole district really. This will also take care of Wi-Fi. This will take care of all of it. Basically, it's all the back end stuff.
Explain back end stuff.
So that would be all like the phone infrastructure,
All technology, all the
networking
things.
infrastructure, yes. This isn't necessarily in the teachers' classrooms per se, like smart boards as you referenced. This is all the back end stuff. Because again, as you know, most classrooms now, you have iPads or Chromebooks. Everything is so dense, you know, with kids getting on the Wi-Fi, kids, hey, we need this, or the state coming in saying, all your tests are now online. Right now, we have a struggle, is a great example, just testing. There are times when we have to hold our breath if everything will stay up on test days. So that would be a good example. So we could actually test.
Or if electricity goes off.
That too. We have electricity issues as well that we were going to fix.
But that's not part of this.
No, it is not. It is. It's kind of in tandem with. We are taking care of that, but in front of you right now is strictly the networking portion of it.
You know, it's kind of like each one of these are individual, but they're connected together through switches and routers, and every location has to have those set up, so.
And it's a monster. You go into those closets and seal.
Do we have firewalls?
We do.
Very good.
We do.
What good to have it?
Okay, I'm gonna ask the question because everyone's probably gonna ask it eventually. Have we vetted this company?
Yes.
Yes.
I have.
Okay.
They are on DIR, by board, everything.
Okay.
They're on buy board, which means they've already been vetted for us. And if we use them, then we get a rebate for using them. Plus, in your packet, there are numerous letters of references from
Right.
local school districts across Texas.
Yes, I read it.
Because
Just getting that word out locally.
Hey,
so
wait.
that it's out
Absolutely.
there.
We've already had those same
Yes.
conversations, Brian, so thank you.
Absolutely, that was a big thing, and again, I wanted to personally myself talk to, again, other superintendents, assistant superintendents, and CTOs, CIOs, depending on the district, to get their feedback on this company. So yes, everything has been vetted, and that's why I asked them specifically, if there are any letters of recommendation, I would like physical, throw them in emails, let's actually see them.
Yes.
On top of not only, taking the time to contact these
And
individuals.
they service 6-man schools up to 6A schools.
Yes.
And they all, it's,
I read through them, just getting out there in the open meeting.
Absolutely. But again, I can go into it as an overview or as in-depth as you want me to. So don't keep me just babbling along.
hey, swing by his office anytime. He would love to go as in-depth as you would like.
Please, my door is open for anyone. Anyone.
So true.
If you have any more questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Drew.
Of course.
And thank you and your guys for everything that y'all do.
All right, Mr. President. I move to approve the recommended district-wide technology network refresh as presented.
Okay, motion on the floor, James seconded, any discussion? I think we already did. All in favor?
Yeah, pretty early, BJ.
All right, 13, consider and act on amendments to the 25-26 budget.
Okay, so in order to do the refresh, it's gonna take a lot of money. So, we are going to need to do a budget amendment in the amount of $340,000 for this project.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the amendments to the 2025-2026 budget as presented.
Motion on the floor. Patrick on the second. Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
Where are the funds being relocated from?
From our,
They're not being they're not being relocated from,
It's just being
we're
changed.
just adding to the budget.
Okay.
Now, tentatively, when I ran the template, which I haven't run it since there's been a couple of changes through the state. I haven't had a chance to run it again. But now that they have more information on House Bill 2 and all of that, how all of those things are working and that funding is working, and we have a little bit better data from the current school year. It was at one point looking like we were going to get some additional funds, more than what our template originally was showing when we created the budget in August. So at the time that I ran it, which was 2 months ago, it was back because we originally were talking about putting this on the February meeting, and some things changed. The additional funds that it was looking like we would receive would cover this. Now, like I said, some things have changed. I haven't had a chance to.
if it's a little short, we do have money in the fund balance.
We have plenty of money in fund balance to cover something like this.
Good.
Good?
Good questions.
All right, everybody good? Anything else? All in favor? Okay, very good. All right, number 14. Consider and take action to adopt a resolution to approve an engagement letter with Leon, Alcala, Morris, and Reynolds, PLLC, to serve as bond counsel, a law firm with substantial experience serving as bond counsel, finding that each services are specialized and cannot be adequately performed by district personnel or other counsel, and that a contingency fee contract is the best interest of the district, because no amount will be paid unless a transaction is completed.
Okay, so this is about to lead into other discussions. We have a bond that is almost paid off. We have a year, in August will be another year, so a year and 4 months left on it. We have funds in our INS account that would we could pay off that bond today. And if we choose to do this, this is a law firm that would take care of all the paperwork for us. INS funds can only be used to pay this bond off. It's not like we can take this money that's sitting in our INS account and say, oh, I wanna pay teachers more money with that. We can't do it. The state says you can only use those INS funds that you collected to pay off the bond. So if we choose to go this route, then we would use Leon McCullough. There's 10 different names with that law firm now, but they're a big law firm out of Austin.
Is that a motion?
And Underwood does not have bond counsel in on their staff.
Yes.
That's why our financial advisor that we're working with on this recommended, he works closely with this group, and recommends them.
Yeah.
As what with them.
Because we owe about 1.2 left, and I think we've got about 1.3 sitting in that account right now.
So what, kind of briefly went over this, but what's it gonna save us, or what's the number as far as?
What was, if we paid it off early, what was?
That's all in the presentation we'll get to on the next discussion
Oh,
item.
okay.
We're not talking about, this item is just approving the bond counsel.
And Cassie's gonna do another presentation.
And I'll go over all the stuff that our financial guys sent us today
Cool.
on the next item.
Coach Mullins.
So this is just to go with, this one to go
Sorry.
with Leon and call it if we decide to do this.
We're in a good situation. If we want, and we'll get to it, but if we want to eventually, we'll give teachers some money. Because over here, we can't take this money. I was coached up by Cassie.
Yeah.
This money here is straight, put this money over here. If we pay this off, put this over here, which you'll get to. And it doesn't change anybody's taxes. Okay. All right, so here we are. Yeah, that's what it is, right? We're in a good spot.
And school finance is it's challenging. I mean, Cassie, kudos to you, because thank goodness she is very, very intelligent and she's on top of it, but it's a booger to understand at times.
The way the state's been to us is pretty much challenging.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that who keeps moving? Everything that's happening. All right. Okay.
I move. You got it. No. I can't pronounce that little word. Go ahead.
Me either. Okay, Mr. President, I move that the Board of Trustees adopt the resolution to approve a contingency fee engagement letter with Leon, Alcala, Morris, and Reynolds PLLC to serve as bond counsel as presented.
Motion on the floor. Second, James seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor? Okay, awesome.
My technology went down over there.
Well, hey, he's working on it.
What you got?
Number 15.
Hey, Cassie, do you want to present after this motion or before?
What motion is
This is consider and take action to adopt an order authorizing the.
No, let's go over it before so that they have all the information.
Yes.
This one gonna be that one now?
Yes.
I'm trying to stay over here.
Yes.
So we're number 15 now?
Well, she's gonna go over the presentation before we
Okay.
do any. Did you put it on my computer, Glenna, the presentation?
It should be. You went too far. Go to 14.
Get better.
Should be right there.
There
There we go.
Okay, so Live Oak Public Finance, that is our the financial group that we use to do, we have used them for several years. John Blackburn is the guy that we have worked with. He was unfortunately not able to be here with us tonight because he had, 6 other meetings on his agenda for tonight. And so he went over all of this with us this afternoon. What we are talking about is paying off the bond. So the bond that was back in 2015, we used, I believe it was, we did that bond to refinance some bonds that we had and do the tax rate exchange, to move funding around, for lack of a better term. So that is, it would have officially, if we just sat on it and let it pay itself off, it would pay off next August, so August of 27. We have collected enough taxes and we have earned interest over the last several years, and that has been a big piece of having enough, of adding to this. So this first sheet right here shows, our tax rate history all the way back to 2007. Over on the right-hand side is our current tax rate. You can see our tax rates are the lowest they've been ever, really, at this point. So a lot of that has to do with the state compression, the compression required by the state, but if you'll go to the next one, Ms. Summers, that compression is also a function of the increase in our property values. So our values are high, our tax rates are low, so that just kind of a little background on this. Our current INS rate is 10.33 cents. That's what we're currently collecting for interest and sinking, which is to pay that bond. That is the only thing that money can pay for. It's not money that can be moved to use for teacher salaries or for classroom supplies or anything else like that. That money, voters approved for that money to pay for that bond. Now, what we have, if you'll go to the next one, what we have left is we currently owe 1.224991. So $1,225,000 essentially left on that bond to pay it off. That would be the total cost to pay it off. We currently have 1.292 sitting in that account. So that would leave us with about 67, probably closer to $70,000 in fund balance sitting in there if we were to pay this off now. To do that, they go over and they show us that we're going to do it now, it's gonna save interest, and it would end up saving about $12,000 in interest on what we would pay next year. Since we're at the end of the life of that bond. But pay it off now, we've got the money, and then in August, we will adopt a 0 INS tax rate. Even if we didn't pay it off now, we would adopt a 0 INS tax rate because we have the money to pay that off next year without. So that is the question at hand here on this motion, is paying that off. But if you go to the next one, Ms. Summers, here's a kind of a schedule, a timeline of doing that. You guys vote on that resolution today. As far as next Monday, they will send out, they'll send out letters to redemption, notice of redemption to the bondholders, and then we have to wait at least 30 days before we can do that. So looking at probably wiring that money on May 11th to pay that off, and then we are done with that bond. Any questions on that?
And we just got this afternoon, so I apologize that you have not seen that yet.
Yes.
I was actually on the bus this afternoon. The email.
Yes, when it came in. So, any questions on that?
And John Blackburn, the financial guy, he said, any questions we have, write them down tonight, and he would be glad to come back next month when he didn't already have a bunch of other obligations at one time.
So, we've got the money, we might as well pay it off and save $12,000 in interest at this point. And then that sets us up for some other opportunities moving forward.
We like opportunities.
So, as far as opportunities, the opportunities, if you'll go to the next slide, Ms. Summers. This is some potential for some opportunities not included in the adoption of this resolution, but how this could benefit us is we pay this off now. There is the potential to go out, we have 0 INS tax rate as of August. We have the potential to refinance some notes, possibly go out for bond for some new money, for various things. Here they have the role of refinance of the M&O notes would be the ones that we have from the original like improvements down at the elementary and the old and Memorial Stadium and some of that improvement. We still owe, I guess it's probably 7 years on that. We can't go out further than what we currently still owe on that. And then on the turf, we still owe on the notes that we took out to pay for those things. Those 2 notes are being paid out of our maintenance and operating, so out of our general fund, not out of this interest and sinking money. This creates an opportunity. We could go for bond, bring in $1.99 million to refinance those maintenance and operating notes, and then we could collect, and in over 7 years, we could collect at 6.3 cents and pay that off. So still less than the 10.33 that we're doing. That's a potential for lowering the tax rate. They've also
free up that.
yes,
money
and then
from
that frees up about $370,000 a year back into our maintenance and operating money, so our general fund. So back into our budget to pay teachers, to give to other programs that we're already doing that need additional funds.
Technology.
Give to technology, you know, that $370,000 should go a really long way. But we have to move that money, we have to refinance that over into a different revenue source to be able to do that. He also has listed there the potential of $1.65 million new money that could be paid out over 10 years at about 4 cents. That would be about the cost of what tennis courts would be to build tennis courts out of the high school.
That would be about 8 tennis courts, and Coach Hardcastle got that quote from Hellas, who did the football field and track, very reputable good company.
So these are, so, and to look at that could create a potential for over 10 years, collecting 10 cents, 10.33 cents of additional INS over the next 10 years. We could pay $3.6 million of either debt or new debt for new facilities like tennis courts.
Which the new 10 cents would just take the place of the old 10
Of the
cents
old
that
10
we're paying
cents.
off, or we
Right.
could possibly pay off.
Right.
Yes.
So,
And John also said, you know, we could talk about other, I just said, hey, let's see what tennis courts would cost, just throwing that out there. But if there are other needs, you know, we could also, he could run a scenario if there are other needs, you know, that y'all would like for us to have him run, then we could certainly do that again, and he can come visit with us next month.
or if we don't want to do a project that, like, if we didn't want to do right now, the new money project, he said we could go back and we could increase that, the paying off that refinance note, and bring that back up to closer to 10 cents, and we'd have that paid off in 5 years rather than the 7. There's lots of options and opportunities there for whatever we want to explore. We just need to give him the questions or the ideas on what we want to look at. But it would be beneficial to us now to pay off those bonds so that we do have an opportunity to possibly refinance some notes, get some new money, without raising taxes.
Yes. Print that
Well,
large.
without raising the tax rate, how about that? Values will still do what values will do,
Yes.
but if that, again, that's all, they hinge on each other, so, but more than, without raising the taxes.
Yes.
And we're free of possible, teacher
Right, for teacher salaries.
salaries. I know everybody hates that.
Salaries, programs, I mean, that money could be used in a plethora of ways in our general fund. But I would think most importantly to pay teachers, to increase teacher salaries, staff salaries. So,
Good report.
Do y'all have questions for Cassie or myself, or any other ideas or thoughts, or?
I think you explained it well.
Told y'all she was smart, she's not just a pretty face. So now let's go back to.
15. 14?
yes, it's
We
14.
already did 14.
15.
14. Is 14 in
14 was the engagement.
14 was
15,
all the
yeah.
long names.
15
Angelica-
is the order.
Okay.
Angelica did that, thank you.
15, yeah, 15
Number
is the
15.
order.
Yes. So this is the action to pay off the bond.
Authorize the defeasance, redemption, of the outstanding obligation.
Okay, Mr. President, I move the Board of Trustees adopt the order authorizing the defeasance.
Not a word you use every day.
Yeah, and with trifocals, it's great. Redemptions of the outstanding obligations of the district as presented.
Okay, got a motion on the floor, James got a second. All in favor? Okay, good. All right, 16. 16, consider an act on submitting nominations for Superintendent of the Year.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve the submission for nomination for Superintendent of the Year as presented.
Thank you. Got a second by Patrick. Any discussion? All in favor? Awesome.
Well, I just want to say thank you all. It's very kind for you to take this action. I know Ms. Thornton is assisting in this, and it's a process, just completing, the application. So thank you. And thank all of y'all for,
Well, just winning.
let's do it.
We've done what we can
That's all right.
Let's not forget to mention that Glenna gave me a jump drive of the last 5 years of all the recorded minutes.
Oh, my.
Only
You got a lot to do.
That brought y'all closer together. Son.
And we're going to postpone number 17.
Right.
Yes.
Table that.
Yes. I wanted to, because I wanted to talk a little bit about the 4-day week survey and some things that go along with that. And I have given you all the results from the survey. And Ms. Thornton did a great job and put this survey together and put it out. And we had 543 responses from our parents. And attached, you can see the results here. And that was a pretty good, 543, that's a pretty good response. I was impressed with that number. And out of the 543 response, would you support transitioning our district to a 4-day instructional week with longer school days, Monday through Thursday? And 59.3 said yes, that they would. 35.4 said no, and then just a few were unsure. And would you prefer Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday? And the majority put 67.5 said Monday through Thursday. And there are some ways that it would impact your family. The majority said no impact at all. The length of the school day was a big impact, or one of the larger impacts, and then childcare needs on the day we were off. And then your primary concern, the majority was no concern at all, and then it went to saying longer school days and academic impact. So that was the parent survey. The staff survey, we had 178 responses, which was a really good response for our staff as well, because we've got about 200 staff members. Yes, so 178, that's pretty good. I'm proud of our staff. That's impressive. And it looks like, would you support it? 77.5% said yes. 8.4 said no, and it looks like 14% were unsure. And you can see, what they preferred the Monday through Thursday as well. And there are the impacts that it could have if we did a 4-day week. The largest impact was the work-life balance. And then students, we just surveyed 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. We got 130 responses. We didn't do seniors because the seniors are gonna be out, so they could make their survey go either way, to help, to hurt, who knows. So we surveyed the kids who we thought that it would really impact. And we had 68.5% of the students that said yes, they were for a 4-day week. 19.2 said no, and 12.3 were still unsure. And again, they voted Monday through Thursday would be their choice. How would it impact them? The majority said no impact. Then athletics and the length of the school day, those are the two biggest, and I get that, that's a concern. So I wanted to visit about that. We sent calendars out for teachers to vote on if we went to a 4-day week, and they gave us their response. But my plan is, because this all seems to be rolling very, very quickly, so I kind of wanted to slow it down a bit. I want to take time and go meet over the next 2 or 3 weeks at each campus. I want to talk about a possible 4-day week. I want to hear some good things that could come out about it. And then I also want to talk about maybe some roadblocks that we might come across with this as well. The whole point of doing this was to recruit and retain teachers, because there's a shortage. And I knew that excited teachers with that. But there are also some challenges that come along with that too. Coach Hardcastle, he's already started meeting with his head coaches to brainstorm some ideas. He's already starting to reach out, to other coaches who are doing the 4-day week. And there are more and more, it's on my desk. I think I researched before we got out for spring break, and there were close to 200 school districts across Texas that are going with 4-day week schools. Some teeny tiny, some larger. I know Mineral Wells has been doing it for a couple of years now. I pulled in the list of schools who went to 4-day weeks. I did a random sampling, and I pulled up their accountability scores. There were mixed reviews. Some scores went up, some went down. It depended on the school district for that. But I want to open the floor at this time to hear any of your thoughts, your concerns about this.
Well, I've probably been approached more over this in the last week from people coming to meet with me. If I go to the ball game, I went to the store. I have people that are coming up and saying, well, what was wrong with what we had? And I you know, it gets down to where some of them will start talking about how the maintenance and the folks, they're afraid their hours will be cut. And then, had a sub come up and say, I'll have to go do something else, because I won't get enough hours in. And then, a lot of the parents that I talked to said, well, I don't know how we're gonna take care of daycare. And so it's the same questions that we had when we were looking at it the first time. And the only thing that and I haven't come back with anything except if the only thing is for in a 4-day is that we'll pick up more teachers. There's also the possibility we could lose teachers. And the other thing is that if it works and we're getting teachers, well, in a couple of years, we'd be right back in the same boat that they were. And so, you know, I mean, it's real hard to watch a baseball game, which Joe did a wonderful job. But it's when you're visiting from different directions, and when somebody thinks that they pull up there too. So, you know, I've had a lot of time to think about it, and I just think that the impact on the kids, that was what was on a lot of them, was that, you know, I started thinking when we were going to school, and that was a few years back, it was, you went at 8:15 and you got out at 3:15. We had an hour for lunch and 2 15 or 20-minute breaks during the day. Maybe that's what we missed, but now these kids are tired. And when I talk to the teachers, they just say, when those kiddos get there in the last, they're just tired. And our kids have the opportunity in a small school to be in everything in the world. And they do a great job, we recognize it. But, you know, how they can be in all the different opportunities, including all the sports and ag stuff, and still make it to class is pretty amazing. And I think that what we're looking at is that kids get out at what time if we go with the 4?
4:10.
4:10.
4:05, 4:10.
And it starts at
7:45.
7:45.
Yeah.
That is a long day with 30-minute lunch, and you know, we used to get out and get sunshine. We used to go sit on the fence. We used to go be able to, you know, visit. Now it's all about sitting down there and working on those tests. So I don't know. I kept waiting for one person to come up and say, "Hey, let's go to 4," and they never have. They haven't made it yet. So anyway, that's my thought.
Well, and, you know, we have our hybrid calendar that we've created 2 choices for the hybrid, just like we've done the last few years. It's done well for us. I think people like that. We have the 4-day week option, or there's even another option that we could explore where, like Huckabee is one where they don't do any Fridays off or whatever day they choose to have off until second semester. You know, so I don't know if that's something that.
Well, and when we were in the meeting out here last year, or year before, that we had the TASB bill out here, and they asked if there was any 4-day folks, and Market Mill said, "Oh, we are." And one guy leaned back and says, "It's apple and oranges." Because, and you know, Huckabee, they play basketball, but they don't play football, and so.
Yeah, and there may be other schools, I knew of that one, and that's why I thought that's another option if that's something we want to explore too, or just.
And like Gorman, I think they were 5 and they went back, no, they were 4 and they went back to 5. So, you know.
So, yeah, I guess my question is, if this is for teacher retention, is the driving force behind this, and teacher, to attract teachers, our hybrid, how many more days does this give them off? Compared to our hybrid, what we're currently doing, is it that crazy amount of days?
Was it about 10, Cassie? 15.
Because the hybrid gives what, I don't know how many days that is off. I have to.
I think that the hybrid's about 170, is it?
Is what we have right now.
178. And this would be,
153?
So 10 days off would make that much of a difference of a teacher saying, I'm gone, or I'm not. I'm just wondering about that. I don't know.
I was just shocked because I've had people approach me and I'm shocked that it's been against it. I really am. I mean, just because, and I'll be honest, the first time we approached it, I was not for it. And I thought, well, maybe it'll give people time to read over it. And that's what I'm concerned about. It's because, of course, our thoughts are always kind of set aside when we listen to everybody else. And that's the feedback that I've gotten as well.
and that's why I'm
It's
looking forward to
concerning.
meeting with every
Because,
campus
yes.
to hear their thoughts
Yes.
on that as well.
And not only our faculty and staff and all that, but students as well.
Yes.
Question.
I mean, because they're down.
We have a couple of teachers in the audience. They can give us their perspective. If you're willing to, the teachers that are here, administrators. Just your perspective on the 4-day.
Yeah.
We're talking about teachers.
I mean, we're talking about teacher retention and everything, and like, we have a couple of teachers here. You have a perspective on it or
Put
anything?
you on the
I'm
spot.
good either way, except that 3 week at Christmas, that's a hard one to give up.
It is.
So knowing that we're gonna give that up
Yes.
is a big one for me. That would hurt when I saw that one and I was looking for the calendar that still had the 3 week Christmas break on it. That to me is that's a big week, cause Christmas is exhausting. And then you get that, like you finally get through Christmas and then it's time to go back to work. Like it's nice to have that 1 week of actual off. Cause we're moms, we don't get off for Christmas, we're, doing all the things. So that one for me was big. To me, a 4-day week versus 5-day week, I wouldn't pick a school district based on that. That would not be a deciding factor.
Good to know.
I am concerned about the longer school day, especially with tutorials. I wanna figure out a way to do tutorials, like add it to the school day somehow, so that like, getting out after 4:30 for 10-year-olds is crazy. Like we used to tutor from 4 to 5, and that was too much. That was horrible. So like I don't want to tutor till 5 o'clock.
Well, and you're gonna have to think outside the box, like you said, a way to somehow.
If there's a longer school day, we can, we already have some extra time built in for things like that. Like how do we do that? That would be my only thought is, again, I don't know, we push these kids hard. They work really, really hard. Now having off on Fridays would be nice. I mean, it would, and having a little bit of rest for those kids. They're busy kids, just like we are. So, but thinking about pep rallies and football season, I mean, it's a question mark. I don't know.
It is, because then you start to think, well, is all that worth?
Well, okay, so I come from a different perspective because she has the little ones, but I have those football players. And I back my coaches up 100%, but I'm not gonna lie. If you want your football players to give you more, they need to not be working on Fridays. They need to not be sitting in biology, stressing about a checkpoint. They need to not be worried, okay? And I say that because I am the one who's with them at 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And these are the kids we're talking about. Our 10-year-olds, we can kind of go in, but our high school, and you don't get a choice. You don't have a kid at school anymore. She graduates this year. Who cares? You have 6 weeks for Christmas, by the way. She's got 6 weeks. But I also come from an area where we don't get a week for Thanksgiving. We don't get 3 weeks. 3 weeks is Christmas is the weirdest thing on the planet, even 10 years here. We don't get 3 weeks. We get, like if Christmas fell on Tuesday, we got that Friday off. Like we went out of school that Friday and we were back like on the 3rd of January. So I come from a different area but I see our football players. Like I have Joe in class and he's tired. Friday, if we could move things around, and I even have my own kid who's in track, and getting home at 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday, 2 o'clock, we got, what was it like 3 years ago when we went to Brock, and for junior high, I didn't get home till 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's on a Thursday. If they had Friday off, baseball games, basketball, it allows them to get the rest they need. And as far as little pig kids, totally different. We can't get them high schoolers out of the school. We are chasing them at 4:30, telling them to go away. They will not leave.
They're hanging out in the cafeteria, so them being there for till 4:10, at least it's productive. At least it's, in that 7 minutes, and I know parents don't like it, but I talk to my honors kids. My kids are freshmen and we're in college and doing high school at the same time, and 7 minutes per class to them is absolutely nothing. It really, they don't even realize it's 7 minutes. They all voted for it, they all wanted it, because after a game on Thursday night, they want to be able to go to sleep. They want to, their football players are like, oh, maybe Hardcastle won't let us get in until 10 a.m. That'd be awesome, because their hobby is sleeping.
So I would say the opposite of that. I mean, I don't want to argue with him or anything like that, but like I had this conversation with my son last night at the Joe. He spent at the dinner table last night, and he's tired when he goes to. He was in your wife's class, and then I think he's in your. Yeah. So we had that conversation. So we're gonna have to give something up, but we got to focus on our. We're not here for football and baseball and basketball. We're here for academics. So we had that conversation last night. We're gonna have to do something. If we can't get up at 6 o'clock like you did today and play golf if you can't perform in the classroom. And I think
I have a
that's
question.
the culture that I would like to, I mean, that's what I think all teachers feel, you know, and I know I want them to do everything and enjoy it, but at the same time, there's priorities, and him being a Major League Baseball player, probably not gonna be it. It's probably gonna be more of, hey, let's go get a college degree or some type of, let's be realistic, I guess.
So maybe somebody could answer this question. At home, back home, we had a study hall. Everybody had a study hall where we did tutoring based on.
We've done that in the past.
Okay, I didn't know if it wasn't, like, I've never heard in 10 years.
It just wasn't utilized.
Okay.
I'll add to
Just waking
that.
everybody
I've been
up.
here pretty long, so it's
Yeah.
not very productive,
Oh,
I
okay.
will say, and it
Oh, so
drives me
when-
crazy, because if we're in class, we're in instruction. And I've always said this, we're breaking cycles of poverty. We are not Trophy Club USA.
No.
But going back to the teacher retention, and this is from the administrator point, I mean, I think most of us here come from, we're a different generation than what's graduating from Tarleton and other universities. When I was hired here, I think 99, I remember telling Mr. Neff, this is what I can do for the district. I can do this and this and this, I can do this. Now, as an administrator, I am pitching, we can do this and this and this and this for you if you can come to us. So we are working with a very different teaching clientele. My team, fabulous. But it's very, very different now, who we are bringing to our district. It's more of what can we do for you? And even though they love academics and they love kids, it's different. They're very different mindsets.
Yeah, that's probably in every industry across the United States.
So the high school would only be gaining 7 minutes per class, is that what y'all are? Because
Yes.
my
We did the
other
time.
thought was, and I didn't do the math on that because that's not what I teach. But
I don't teach math either. A kid told me that.
But I was thinking, like, they have so many periods. We have a lot of time in the school day for our kids to teach my content. I don't know how an English teacher teaches in, 50 minutes a day or what? I don't know how they do that. I have a zillion more minutes than that, and I can barely do it. And so I was wondering how much time that added, but 7 minutes really isn't enough for an extra anything. Like, that's really
Oh,
not
it
a lot of
doesn't,
time.
but I guess it's, honestly, the parents that are upset are the ones that are gonna have to figure out what's going on Friday. Like, we all heard it too. Every parent called that knew us for little kids, asked if we agree, and I'm like, nope, I'm all for it. But I also know, we're not going to Fort Worth Christian this year, right? We're not traveling. Okay. I'm also the parent that was going to Fort Worth Christian. That was on a Friday right after work. And so, like, I think about parents, and I think about you administrators having to, like, spend all day with heathens. I'm gonna call them heathens, add mine in there, with these kids and move them, right? It gives us a break, and it is teacher retention. I'm not going anywhere. I live 6 miles down the road, so, like, it doesn't matter to me. But the new teachers, if you want to go interview a new teacher, like, if you guys really want to do your research, there's a girl at Lucky Vines, her name is Kaylee, who's choosing to be at Lucky Vines versus use her PPR and her E-6 degree because of how hard education was during. If you really want to know what we could do, that's where we need to go. Like,
And I've got, there was 2 questions, and I need to ask somebody else about this. One of them you know, we're 70% Spanish here, and if you'll notice, most of the kids, when they get up there, the athlete, well, they want to grow up to be a professional soccer player, not a football player. And their parents, a lot of times, aren't in the stands because they're working. And so someone had mentioned to me, if you're gonna be off all day Friday, how many dads will say, well, then you're not playing football because you're gonna be you're working with me. And they said, because I know some that think that way and feel that way. What's your thoughts on that, Coach?
Well, that is a concern of mine.
I mean,
Now, there's things that intrigue me about it as well, but, you know, that's a concern. You know, and I coaches with young kids that have expressed concern about, well, now we're starting practice almost an hour later, 45 minutes later than we've been able to, you know, so that's that much later we're getting home. It's bedtime for the kids, and when do I get, you know, and it's like, and we know that's part of it, that, you know, we're gonna be up there on the weekends during football season. But it's hard to, you know. There's all kinds of things, and that's where I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to handle all that.
And that's the thing, and there is just a whole lot that I've thought that people.
You know, and I will say this, as I started having some conversations with some coaches, you know, Breckenridge has been doing this for 2 years. And when I started talking to their coaches, I said, oh, next year, we're going Fridays in the fall and Fridays off in the spring. So they're one of those that's going back kind of that way as well.
Right. Well, my question to you, I guess, Coach, is like, I think of this as what we're doing for the kids, right? Always. And I don't want to do like my family, my kids can drive around, they can get around, they're good. But there are, how many players, athletes are on that, right on that edge? Either they have athletics to come to school, so they have something, or they don't. And then they just, you know, they don't have that, I guess our teachers, I feel like, do a great job of influencing our kids and being mentors and being people to look up to for sure. And I know coaches, I looked up to my coaches, you know, I still remember, see some of them now at some of these ball games. And it's like we never missed a beat. They just, you know, it's a great thing. I'm just curious on how you feel like, how that would affect some of those kids that might be going down the wrong path or possibly can flourish into being something. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Kind of like,
I'm not
there's
sure.
some kids that are kind of there that can go the wrong way, not coming to school, but football or basketball or baseball, something brings them to the schoolhouse. And then that gives us an opportunity to be a good influence in their life. They may not have the best home life, whatever it may be. I mean, you know, I think one kid is worth it, I guess is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So
Yeah, another.
I just want our kids to be around.
But I'll just going back to what you said, and when I say that's a concern, I mean, I'm hoping we're at the point where that's not as big an issue, but I will tell you that my first year as the head coach, when we had that week out at Thanksgiving, there was a young man that had been playing on JV. He got to play in the first 2 playoff games, and we didn't see him that next week during Thanksgiving because his dad made him go work all week, and he didn't go to the game with us next Friday.
That's what I did.
That was the argument.
But
I
that- I mean, that's-
about
that's,
that. I
you know.
told him, I said, we don't need a week in Thanksgiving,
But-
because I'll lose kids.
But we've changed things since then
Yeah.
too, to make it hard for these kids to fail or not be a part of
Right.
something. You know, we make it really hard for a kid to fail with their grades or with attendance or whatever, because we go get them, we go get them,
Right,
we go get them.
right.
2 other questions, and it's amazing. I mean, there was a lot. The other was that you got that time off, and we talked about how you got to find, you just can't let your kids stay home on Friday. It's like, well, we're still working. We work a 5-day or 6-day week, and y'all are going 4 days, so now we've got to find daycare for our kids, and we can't afford that. So we let one of the football players or the older kids, you stay home and keep the kid up. And that was one, and then the other one was, there's a lot of kids that don't eat when we furnish food for
And
them.
I've asked Nakona if she would reach out to her people at the service center to see if there are any sort of feeding programs like we have in the summer where kids can come, they can eat or they can take a meal to go or whatever. I've asked her to reach out to the service center about that as well. And then I know we have our Backpack Buddies program that gives certain kids bags of food to go on the weekend, and I was gonna touch base with them if this is the direction we went to see, could they put a little more in there?
But, you know, over the past week or so, just, I mean, things I hadn't even thought about, and just like with the substitute, I said, I'm gonna have to quit and do something else.
I never thought about subs,
Well,
yeah.
and that was the thing, I hadn't thought of any of these things, and all of a sudden they brought them up, and I'm going, then I had to start thinking about those, and then I started thinking, okay, if this is what we're doing to try to encourage young teachers, and then Stephenville, Comanche, everybody says, well, if they're doing it, we're gonna do it. And then all of a sudden, we've done all this for something that only paid off for 1 year or whatever. I think I mean, it's tough. Any way you look at it, it's tough. And, but there's just a whole lot of things, and people said, well, I didn't think about it until I got home, or I did this, or went to church, whatever, and started visiting with others and realized everybody's got a different deal. Some people have young kids, some people have older kids, some people are teachers, one of the people, they were maintenance. They thought the world was gonna come to an end. And so there's so many different dimensions of this, and so many people that, you know, we're here for the kids, but we're also here to make sure the parents can take care of those kids and not put stress on them.
What did the parents do in the modified when the kids were off on Mondays? They had to make adjustments then.
Well, they did, and for that, they were saying.
And I'm not pro against any of them,
No.
but thinking about since COVID and how the game has changed. And it's kind of like, you know, I was telling Ms. Summers, I said, I'm not for either, as long as we have school. But here's the deal. If you prepare for a ball game on Friday night, you're not going to probably use the same game plan next week. And as we still have to constantly look at ways, and this is great conversation to have.
Sure.
And this is great here. It's great that we're gonna have more conversation where maybe the teachers can be a little more personal about the questions. I think that's really important. You start looking at things, and I know, Coach, and as you deal with this, I've got 2 kids. Both of them went from a 5-day to a 4-day. Kellen's fixing to go back to a 5-day, which is gonna be an adjustment for him. My daughter's excellent teacher. She told me she'll never be in a 5-day school again.
Yep.
Now, her day is long, and she's got 2 youngins. But that enables her to have those kids on that Friday before they go to their dads, because she's raising them by herself. So she does get them basically every weekend. She has time where she can take them to the doctor, where she can take them and she can breathe a little bit instead of having to take a personal day because she doesn't get any help. So, yeah, as I look at it from that standpoint, but as a coach, I had the concerns that Coach Hardcastle has.
Well, and I asked one of them.
But I'm sorry, but at the same time, going back to what Amy was saying about, you know, you got that Friday, you know, I mean, that's another thing that kind of is intriguing. You get back from a JV game at 10:30 at night, we don't have to be up there at 6 o'clock in the
Track
morning
meets?
for junior high. You know, you can come in at 8 instead of 6 or
Which is
something.
a
Which,
bonus.
yes,
a
I mean,
huge
so
bonus.
there's some, there, you know, I mean, there's all kinds of things to look at.
Well, and I asked a question on the, you know, well, we already have some Fridays off, Mondays. We don't have every Monday off. And I asked them, and they said, you know, your parents and your grandparents, your neighbors will always chip in to do it. said, well, when you're asking them for every Friday,
It's like, okay.
they were all.
We're out, you're welcome.
You know, and let me say this about, like, you know, the Mondays, how we've dealt with that, you know, for a long time. For the first few years, we tried to go early in the morning. And the last couple of years, we've gone later in the afternoon to try to let the coaches have that Sunday off. You know, we come in and work or whatever. We've done different things with that. You know, our turnout typically is, all the varsity kids typically show up. Most, I mean, there'll be maybe one or so, you know, they'll be there. It's our sub-varsity kids, the kids that don't drive and things like that, where we've had trouble having them, whether it was in the morning or the afternoon, you know. You know, and that's one of the things we kind of discussed, that when this was brought up, you know, I spoke up in staff meeting and said, well, if we're gonna do this, we need to be up on Fridays, because on Mondays, junior high needs to practice. Or they have games on Mondays during basketball, and they need, you know, we need.
They can't drive.
They can't drive to get there.
Right.
And so,
And you don't miss a day of workout.
So-
They get their full workout in, go to the ball game and sleep in the
Right.
next day. All you're
So-
dealing with is
But you know, every campus, and I'm just throwing out what I'm hearing, and I realize that every campus and every parent that has different age kids, you know, there's a devil at every level. There is no perfect fit, one size fits all. And it'd be great if you could do that, but you can't. And so, you know, we've gotten adjusted to this one that we're on now. And so we're gonna adjust again, hoping that it will go well. And I just think that there's not gonna be, everybody's happy.
But we also have to know that those people that are speaking up make up for like 30% of that vote, because 70-something%
Yeah.
said yes. So
And
those 30% that you're talking to is not the majority. I mean, you haven't seen the yes, but at the same time, there's a whole lot of yeses out
No,
there.
I
They're just
talked,
quieter.
there was three I talked to
Yeah.
that voted yes, and then they got home and thought about it. And so I think that it's
Well, and after Ms. Thornton and I make our rounds and we visit with every campus and we talk about, we have, hopefully it's a pretty good discussion like we're having right now, then maybe we need to go, okay, let's survey again to make sure everybody is clear, everybody's kind of on the same page and go that route.
Yeah, I just want to encourage everybody to, you know, to think about it, and they've had time. This woke them up a little bit, and I think more people have thought about, the coaches have thought about, what are we gonna have to adjust? Teachers are sitting there thinking, what are we gonna do to adjust? And this is time that you can say what you want to, but I'm just saying that one size not gonna fit all, and there's a lot to think about, so.
No, this is great conversations. Thank y'all all for giving your input. Ms. Valentine, Ms. Farber, Coach Hardcastle, all Norma, all y'all, thank y'all very much for everything that you've added. I will be getting in touch with y'all so we can set those dates to go around, but thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay,
That was really it.
nothing for closed
So
session?
are we gonna table that?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a motion to table that in a second?
You bet.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor to table it, got a second? Ryan? Okay, all in favor? We done discussed, good.
Thank you.
There's still time. All right. Okay, we're not going into closed session, so we don't have to worry about a recommendation. So, number 20, regular April board meeting will be Monday, April 27th, 6. And the regular meeting will be Monday, May 18th at 6 o'clock. All right? And Angelica,
President, I move to adjourn at 7:09 p.m.
all in favor? Raymond second. See ya.